As the Adirondacks get ready to once again host athletes from around the world with the opening of the World University Winter Games on January 12th, Lake Placid is celebrating the reopening of its museum dedicated to the Winter Olympic Games that it has hosted twice. Our Jack LaDuke shows us.
Crowds were wowed recently when the World University Games cauldron was unveiled in Brewster Park in downtown Lake Placid. Instead of flames lighting the scene, the cauldron will be illuminated by LED bulbs, not the traditional flames.
The reasons for this here is to really highlight Save Winter, and unveiling a cauldron that's lit by LED lights to me is really setting the stage not only for these games but setting the stage for the future games that use fossil fuel torches.
The University Games, or FISU, will get underway here January 12th, 2023, and is expected to draw a record crowd of athletes. A few days before the unveiling of the FISU cauldron, another revelation at the Olympic Center was seen: the complete renovation of the Olympic Museum.
It's engaging. You really can't take it all in at one time, which to me is great because you got to come back and see it again. And there's just so many stories to tell about the 1980 games as well as the 32, and I love it the way it just ties it all the way back to the very beginning of the sport.
Wyckoff said that it tells the story of how the Winter Olympics began. This mountain town is jam-packed with Olympic history.
The heritage is so powerful, and it goes back 100 years at this facility and 100 years at Mount Van Hovenberg and the Intervale ski jumps. And what we've done at modernizing these places, making them vibrant year-round, and making them destinations for the community to be proud of again. I think we've set ourselves up to be successful for decades to come, and we're in demand in the international world of sport, and really ready to welcome the world again, have the facilities meeting the modern standards, and doing it efficiently and effectively so that it is something that the whole community can be proud of.
World Bobsled Push Championships just finished. World Cup Bobsled and Skeleton are coming up, and it will soon host the World University Games for a second time. Excitement runs high here. After spending millions of dollars on revitalizing the Olympic venues and more, the North Country is ready to say, "Welcome, world, we're ready."
All of the venues, they are in the best shape they've ever been in. I'd say they're in better shape than they were for the 1980 Olympics and certainly from the 32 Olympics. And what an accomplishment. I'm tempted to say that this is another Lake Placid miracle, but it's not a miracle. It took vision, determination, financial support, teamwork, and a lot more.
Tonight is about preserving our history with the opening of the museum and celebrating our future with the completion of the Olympic Center.
Like the venues that are in top shape, so too is the museum ready to host the public.
First off, we have more space to work with than in the old museum. We've got interactives, which is, we didn't really have a whole lot last time, so having the interactives exhibits now is incredible. And even having our AV running, for example, our 1932 footage, we have Eric Hayden footage, just having that rolling is something we didn't have in the old space, so we're excited for visitors to really interact with that. And we also have a lot of objects that weren't on display in the old museums.
Herman added that they also increased badly needed office space and that the Miracle on Ice exhibit was the most popular with the guests. The U.S. hockey team win may have overshadowed Eric Hayden winning 5 gold medals, a record at the time. His enlarged picture and skates are on display here. Besides improving the venues, the village was granted improvements.
So we have a new water main that serves Lake Placid for many years into the future, better than we could do before. We also, and this is very important in today's world, we also have protected Mirror Lake to the extent that we could from the stormwater runoff that was feeding salt and other contaminants into that watershed.
As a result of the improvements over the years, the North Country has grown. So too has the Olympic Museum. The new Olympic Museum preserves the history of Lake Placid and the Winter Olympics through its artifacts, and all in a much bigger space than before. The museum is open daily from 10 to 5. For Mountain Lake Journal, I'm Jack LaDuke in Lake Placid.
Jack LaDuke's Adirondack Journal on Mountain Lake PBS is made possible with support by Northline Utilities.